All right, so you're thinking about landing a tech job.
Mm-hmm.
Not just any tech job, though, right?
Right.
The dream, the FAANG companies.
Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google.
Exactly. And you're probably thinking, okay, I need to level up my skills,
Yeah,
especially algorithms and data structures.
for sure.
Well, we've got some interesting stuff to unpack today from Algo Academy.
Oh, yeah.
Marketing materials and a blog post that promised to spill the secrets to success.
I'm intrigued. Let's dive in.
So Algo Academy really leans heavily on these testimonials.
Yeah, it's almost like they're saying, look, we've got the magic formula.
Right. They have this whole section called Don't Just Take Our Word for It.
Uh-huh.
And then, boom, a parade of success stories. People who snagged jobs at Microsoft, Uber, Vanguard, even Samsung.
It's like they're saying, see, it works.
Yeah. And we're not just talking software engineers either.
Oh,
They've
well,
got
yeah.
testimonials from embedded software engineers,
Yeah.
machine learning engineers, front-end, back-end, you name it.
It's a classic marketing tactic, right? Showcasing people who've achieved the dream, especially at those big name companies.
Exactly.
But it makes you wonder, are these just the cherry-picked success stories?
Oh, free.
What's the bigger picture here?
Right, like are they hiding all the people who didn't land their dream job?
Exactly.
But you have to admit some of these details are pretty compelling.
Okay, I'll bite. What do you have?
Like Connor, who landed a six-figure job at Vanguard after taking Algo Academy.
Okay, not bad.
Or Florian, who apparently aced the notorious Facebook interview.
Wow.
A lot of these testimonials mention this boost in confidence and the ability to tackle coding problems independently.
That's interesting, because that ties in directly with what the blog post hammers on,
Which is
problem solving. It's the golden ticket to FAANG companies.
They really emphasize that.
Oh, yeah. It's not just about knowing a programming language.
Right.
It's about how you think, how you break down challenges.
So it's like they're saying anyone can learn a programming language,
Exactly.
but not everyone can think like a programmer.
Right. And that's what sets you apart in those tough interviews.
So the blog post lays out these two contrasting paths.
No, the classic choose your own adventure.
Right, the smooth sailing path where you quickly figure out what employers want, gain the right skills, and land that high-paying, impactful job at a top tech company.
The dream.
Exactly. And then there's the nightmare scenario.
Dun, dun, dun.
Where you're drowning in information, struggling to solve problems, unable to write clean code, and ultimately giving up on your dream.
It's like they're trying to scare you straight.
Yeah, they definitely don't sugarcoat it.
But it's effective, right? It makes you think, I definitely don't want to be that person.
Totally. But if we dig a little deeper, it raises an important question.
Which is?
Is learning algorithms and data structures the be-all and end-all of becoming a problem solver?
Right. Or are they kind of pushing their own agenda here?
Like maybe there are other ways to develop those problem-solving skills.
Exactly. It's not the only path to success.
So they argue that traditional tech education often misses the mark.
In what way?
Too much focus on specific languages or frameworks. Not enough on building those core problem-solving skills.
I see. So it's like they're saying, hey, we're filling a gap here.
Right. And that's where Algo Academy swoops in, claiming to fill the gap by teaching a system for problem-solving, not just coding.
Okay, I can see where they're coming from. I've seen it myself.
Oh, really?
Brilliant people hitting a wall in interviews because they lack that adaptable problem-solving mindset.
They know the syntax, but they can't apply it to a new situation.
Exactly. They might be wizards in one language, but freeze up when faced with a new type of challenge.
So Algo Academy might be onto something here, highlighting a real gap in how we approach tech education.
I think so. It's about teaching people how to think, not just what to think.
Okay, so let's get into the nuts and bolts of their approach.
I'm ready.
They make a big deal about focusing on problem solving, not just memorizing syntax.
That makes sense.
They use real-world scenarios that mimic actual tech interviews. And they emphasize language-agnostic skills, meaning you can apply what you learn across different technologies.
Hold on, can you explain what you mean by language agnostic?
Sure. So it means you're learning the underlying concepts and logic, which can then be applied to any programming language.
Ah, I see. It's like learning the grammar rules of a language.
Exactly. Once you know the rules, you can apply them to English, Spanish, French, whatever.
So you're not just learning to code in Python, for example.
Right.
You're learning how to think like a programmer.
Which is valuable no matter what language you end up using.
That's a great point.
They also have this incremental learning approach, building your confidence gradually and specific interview prep.
Like what?
Including those dreaded behavioral questions and system design challenges.
When they mention system design, are they talking about?
Yeah, like designing the architecture behind a social media platform or a search engine.
Got it. It's a crucial skill for senior roles.
For sure. Where you're not just writing code, but designing the big picture.
And what about community support?
Oh, yeah. They emphasize that too.
Which can be a huge plus.
Definitely. Having a network of fellow learners to bounce ideas off of and get feedback can make a big difference.
So it sounds like they've got a pretty comprehensive approach.
It does. But are there any potential downsides?
That's a good question. Is it all sunshine and rainbows with Algo Academy?
Right. Like,
Yeah.
is it too good to be true?
Well, any structured learning path can have its drawbacks.
Okay. That's it.
For one, is it too formulaic?
Meaning?
Could it stifle creativity or individual learning style?
Oh, I see. So it might not be the best fit for everyone.
Exactly. And while the testimonials are impressive,
Right.
we need more data to know how effective this approach is in the long run.
It's all about finding the right balance between structured guidance and fostering independent thinking.
Absolutely. And that brings us back to you, the listener.
Right. Because ultimately, you have to decide if this approach is right for you.
Does this approach resonate with your learning style and goals?
That's the million-dollar question. And to answer that, we need to look beyond the marketing hype and dig into the specifics of what Algo Academy offers.
Let's do it. So let's take a closer look at what Algo Academy actually offers.
Yep.
They have a tiered pricing structure.
Oh, like different levels of access.
Exactly. They've got a starter pro, quarterly, and pro annual option.
So you can kind of dip your toes in the water before diving into the deep end.
Yeah, the starter tier gives you a taste with 10 sample coding questions, 1 free coding lesson per week,
Okay.
and some bonus content like a soft skills course.
Interesting. But I'm guessing for the full experience, you need to upgrade.
Right. For the full shebang, you'd need one of the pro tiers.
Which, yeah.
Access to over 100 hours of video explanations, a structured study plan, and a certificate of completion.
So what's the damage? How much are we talking for these pro tiers?
Let's see. The quarterly option is $499.99 billed every 3 months.
Good.
And the annual option is $399.99 per year.
So you save a bit if you go for the whole year.
Right. The main difference is the number of practice questions you get access to.
Oh, how many are we talking?
180 for the quarterly
Okay.
and a whopping 800 for the annual.
Wow, 800 questions. That's a serious question bank.
It is, but it makes you wonder,
What's that?
is quantity always better than quality?
Right. And how do those questions stack up against what you actually see in a FAANG interview?
Those are the key questions.
Yeah, because it's one thing to practice on random coding puzzles.
Exactly. But if they're not representative of what you'll actually face in an interview...
Then it's not really that helpful.
Right. And it's tough to judge the quality without actually trying it out.
I guess so.
They do tout their step-by-step coding tutorials,
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
claiming they're more interactive than just watching videos.
But is that guidance truly effective in developing that problem-solving muscle?
Or does it just walk you through predetermined solutions?
Right. Because if you're not thinking for yourself,
You're not really learning.
it's that age-old dilemma of hand-holding versus fostering independent thinking.
Exactly. Too much hand-holding. And you might not develop the ability to tackle problems on your own.
And then there's the question of relevance.
Right.
Are those 800 questions truly representative of what FA companies are asking in interviews?
Or are they just a random assortment of coding puzzles?
It might be worth comparing their question bank to resources like LeetCode or Glassdoor.
Where you can find actual interview questions from those companies.
Yeah, see what other people are actually being asked.
Exactly. And what about the community aspect?
Oh yeah, they make a big deal about that.
But how active and supportive is that community in practice?
Right. Are there mentors available? Is it easy to connect with other learners?
And get feedback on your code?
These are all things to consider before shelling out $400 or $500.
Absolutely. But don't get me wrong, community support can be invaluable.
Oh, for sure. It's like having a study group, a sounding board, and a cheerleading squad all rolled into one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's important to look beyond the marketing promises.
Right, and see how the community actually functions.
So before you jump in head first,
Take a step back.
and do your homework.
Check out their free content. Read reviews from other users.
And compare their approach to other resources.
Right, because there's no magic bullet.
There's no single platform that guarantees you a FAANG job.
It ultimately boils down to your effort, dedication, and how well you develop those critical problem-solving skills.
Algo Academy might be a valuable tool for some.
But it's not the only path to success.
Speaking of paths to success, let's zoom out a bit
Okay.
and talk about the broader tech landscape.
The bigger picture,
Exactly. Algo Academy focuses heavily on technical skills.
which are obviously crucial.
Oh, yeah. But what about the other side of the equation?
Give me an element.
Ah, yes. The often overlooked but equally important aspect of landing your dream tech job.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about Algo Academy's approach, the importance of soft skills like networking, and even the emotional roller coaster of the job search. But one thing that's been conspicuously absent from our conversation
Wow.
is any mention of artificial intelligence. Yes. The elephant in the algorithm, so to speak.
Exactly. AI is transforming every industry,
Uh-huh.
including software development. We've got AI-powered coding assistants, automated testing tools, and even algorithms that can write code.
It's mind-blowing.
So how does all of this impact the advice we've been giving?
Right.
Is learning algorithms and data structures still relevant
Good question.
in an age where machines can seemingly do it all?
That's a profound question.
It is.
And one that deserves its own deep dive.
Oh, for sure.
But I'll offer some initial thoughts.
Please do. I'm all ears.
First of all, AI is not a replacement for human ingenuity and problem-solving skills.
Okay.
While AI can automate certain tasks and make coding more efficient,
Right.
it can't replicate the creativity, critical thinking, and adaptability,
The human element.
exactly, that are essential for true innovation.
So you're saying learning algorithms and data structures is still relevant?
Absolutely. Even in an AI-powered world.
Okay.
And I'd argue that it's even more important now than ever before. Understanding how algorithms work, how to design efficient data structures, and how to analyze the performance of code
Right.
is crucial for leveraging AI effectively.
So it's not about replacing humans, but about giving them the tools to work more effectively with AI.
Exactly. If you don't understand the underlying principles,
Right.
you can't effectively utilize the tools that are built upon them.
That makes sense.
Think of it this way. You wouldn't expect someone to build a house without understanding the basic principles of architecture and engineering, would you?
No, of course not.
The same applies to software development in the age of AI.
You need a solid foundation.
Exactly. In the fundamentals, in order to effectively harness the power of these new tools and technologies.
So while AI might automate certain aspects of coding, it's not a magic bullet.
No, it's not.
That eliminates the need for human expertise.
Precisely. And in fact,
Yeah.
I believe that AI will create even more opportunities for skilled software developers.
Interesting. So it's not a threat, but an opportunity
Exactly.
for those who are prepared.
Who can think critically, solve complex problems, and adapt to new technologies.
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
So instead of fearing AI as a threat,
Right.
we should embrace it as a tool
Exactly.
that can augment our abilities and open up new possibilities.
AI is not the enemy.
Okay.
It's a powerful ally that can help us to be more efficient, more creative, more impactful in our work.
That's a really encouraging message.
So for anyone who's feeling intimidated by the rise of AI,
Right.
remember that your human skills are still invaluable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our ability to think critically, solve problems, and adapt to new
It
challenges.
will always be in demand.
And those skills are best developed through a deep understanding of the fundamentals,
Yes.
including algorithms and data structures.
Precisely.
Well, I think we've covered just about everything we can on this topic. We've explored Algo Academy's claims, the broader context of tech skills, the importance of soft skills and emotional resilience, and the impact of AI on the future of software development. It's been quite a journey.
Indeed. And I hope our listeners have found it as insightful and thought-provoking as we have.
I'm sure they have. So what's the final takeaway?
What's the one key message we want to leave our listeners with?
Yeah.
The journey to a successful tech career is an ongoing process of learning, growth, and adaptation.
Yep.
Embrace the challenges, cultivate your skills, and never stop exploring. The future of technology is bright, and those who are prepared to embrace it will have limitless opportunities to make a difference.
That's a perfect note to end on. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing your boundaries.